Hi, I'm Alicia. Thank you for joining us today. And before you take this journey with us, I just want to say this is a podcast, okay? This is not a therapy session. Yes, we talk about real and sometimes heavy stuff, so consider this your trigger warning. And I'm a licensed therapist, but nothing here is medical advice or a substitute for professional mental health care. Because remember, we're just like talking to comedians. Anyway, welcome to Xanyland. Wait, hold on.
We're going.
Wait, why do you look so grumpy today? Welcome to the Xanyland podcast. I'm your host, Alicia Racine, a licensed therapist. And we're hanging out with comedians because who else is going to be honest about being crazy?
So far, I feel like I'm performing. There's no cameras here. Just be the real me. And here's the real me. Ready?
Take the mask off. Yeah, you're grumpy today. So on the way here, how did you prepare for this? How did you prepare for this session?
I tried to calm down.
You did? What did you do? Breathing?
I did some breathing.
Okay.
And I was doing a bit of fuming in the car.
Yeah.
First, I tried to analyze, like, why am I having this reaction? Where does it stem from? Probably childhood.
Yeah.
Like, did I feel misunderstood as a child?
Do you hate that actually? Oh, by the way, we're here with Muldoon today, who is a comedian.
And a therapist.
And happens to be a therapist. So this is a special episode today.
Yes.
I forgot what I was going to say.
Do you hate it when...
Yes, when people blame everything on childhood.
I get annoyed with myself when I try to, like, find the roots of everything I do.
Yeah, right?
Wait,
do you do that?
Sometimes.
You would do that.
I can be problematically introspective sometimes. Or narcissistic. I think about myself a lot.
I think everyone in America is narcissistic. That's the problem. You know how everyone is like, everyone's ex is a narcissist? And you're like, oh yeah, because it's America.
Yeah,
we all are.
Right. Narcissistic.
We're all narcissistic. Maybe not narcissist. Exactly. You can't diagnose us narcissist. That's a steep ladder to climb. Did you have to do anything other than breathing in the car this morning?
First, I just drove with silence.
Okay.
And then I thought, like, where does this stem from? And I was like, I'm not going to do that right now.
Okay.
I'm just going to feel my feels. So I was like,
Okay.
I'm angry. Okay? I'm angry.
Okay.
And then I've been listening to a lot of Nine Inch Nails lately.
Okay.
Like for the past year. Side up, my Spotify Wrapped thing.
Yeah.
I'm in the top 5% of people who listen to Nine Inch Nails in 2024. I'm one of the biggest Nine Inch Nails fans in the world.
No way. Has that been good for your mental health?
Yeah, it's been great because I was never into them until like a year ago. I was listening to them while jogging. Of course, the song Closer. Yep. You get me closer, dear God. Then I was on a drive and I was like, let me check out some of their other stuff. And the album The Fragile came up and I was like, I like this song.
I really like Nine Inch Nails actually.
Yeah, you know the Fragile?
Yeah, but I haven't listened to it since
You're a normal person.
many years ago.
Yeah. But it's been great. Trent Reznor's lyrics are awesome. Some of the stuff is too abrasive for my taste, but a lot of it's like very beautiful. Anyways, back to the car. Listen to Nine Inch Nails, the song The Big Come Down.
Yeah.
It's like a little bit abrasive. They intentionally play some wrong notes.
Like a little dissonant, like the notes are slightly dissonant so that you, yeah.
Yeah,
Ooh, I
so
love
there's
that.
like,
So smart. Mm-hmm.
One of the lyrics is, there is no place I can go, there is nowhere I can hide. It feels like it keeps coming from the inside. And so I listened to that was cool. And then I did some screaming, which is something I've been doing lately in my life. I was like, I'm angry, so I was just like, fuck.
Do you have to like amp yourself up to scream, or you know you're ready to scream, you just let it out? Or do you have to go like, I'm gonna fucking scream now and like get in there? First time it comes out kind of weak, then you really give it?
The first time I ever did this,
Yeah.
it was weak to begin with.
Yeah.
My voice cracked at one point, and then I laughed because that was funny to me.
Yeah.
But that's not what I was going for. I'm not trying to laugh.
Yeah.
But this time, I was able to just, I was ready. So I was like, all right, let me do some screaming. It was like very intentional.
Yeah.
So I was like, fuck. And then I could feel my body like relax. It was nice. Just getting that energy out.
Yeah, it's because it's charged.
The feelings that happened from that conflict were trapped in my
yeah.
body.
Kind of like in somatic type therapies or trauma therapies where they teach you that animals will shake off feeling or really smart. Did a therapist tell you to do this or Joe Rogan?
Joe Rogan.
Was it?
Well, he is my therapist. The Joe Rogan Experience podcast is my therapy. He's from Boston. Went to UMass Boston for a little bit. Used to perform stand-up at the Mattapoisett Inn.
No way. That's where we're from.
Yeah.
Oh, so we happen to also be from the same area.
Yep.
This is a really special episode because not only is Rajun a comedian, which I'd love for you to share, but he's also a therapist, and he happens to be from my hometown, and he's my associate.
Yep.
No, but I did respect you as a comedian, which is cool.
And I respected you as a therapist and an actress.
Oh, thank you. Anything else you want to add to that list?
A mother, partner.
Even though you didn't know.
Which one is this? Michael.
His name is Michael.
Great partner to Michael.
This is going so well.
Is it?
I don't know.
Oh. Well, let's see. Where was I?
You were screaming.
Screaming.
Yeah.
No one had really brought that up to me.
Yeah.
No therapist. I heard about scream therapy a little bit in school, but it seemed controversial.
Yeah.
And I had been going to Al-Anon meetings.
Yes.
And it's all about, well, one portion of it is about not suppressing your feelings because you grow up in an alcoholic household. You need to sometimes be quiet, be small, and like not express yourself because it could be dangerous.
And hypervigilant.
Hypervigilant, yeah. So now as an adult, I realize like I'm not expressing anger. I think I am.
Yeah.
I think I'm like pausing. I'm like, okay, and now the anger's gone.
Yeah. We didn't know that we were going to necessarily talk this much about anger today.
No.
We did want to talk about feelings and the feelings wheel, right?
Yes.
You're going to teach us about that. But I think anger is a really important conversation because of the way that we have internalized how we feel about our expression of anger or how we process anger or how we even psychologically interact with anger and how anger can turn into, when it's repressed, into so many other emotions, sort of like anxiety, right? It can be repressed and then come out as anxiety or self-doubt or regret.
Depression.
Or resentment. So anger is such an important thing to discuss and talk about and how to express it in a way that's healthy for you, how to talk about it in a way that's healthy for you. A lot of the time with my therapist, when I come to her with a bunch of self-doubt, she knows that one of my strategies is to take my anger that I have on someone else out on myself or just introject it and turn it into something that I'm used to, which is making fun of myself or, really pressuring myself. And so she's really good at going, okay, we've been here before, you know, let's talk about this self-doubt and then what's really going on, and really helps me to remind me that sometimes I just want to murder someone else and that it isn't, and it really isn't about my limitation at all.
Yeah. Anger is totally fine to have.
Yeah.
It's just what you do with it.
And 9 Inch Nails is helpful for that. I felt like Eminem was really helpful for that for me for a long time.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
I was really into Eminem
Really?
back in the day. Oh,
That's cool.
God. I remember I had this boyfriend that took me to see 8 Mile, like surprised me with it. I liked Eminem that much.
Wow.
Yeah. Really, really was into him. But he was really important for a period of time where I needed to express anger. I felt like that as the artist, he knew that if he leaned into that anger, that the rest of us could get a catharsis from his experience, which was what was so beautiful and I think made him so powerful.
Yeah. And with 9 Inch Nails,
Yeah.
sometimes I do not relate to the music, the lyrics at all. But other times, I totally do. And often very dark. And Trent Reznor has sometimes a lot of self-hatred.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh shit, so do I sometimes.
Yeah.
No one knows.
I think what I hear you saying is that he validates your experience of self-hatred sometimes, and instead of telling you that that's wrong, you guys you get to be sort of validated in that experience with fantastically wonderful artist, and then that's helpful.
Yeah, totally.
Which is why therapy is so rad, right? Because at least good therapists, you can come in and be like, I hate myself, and it's a safe space to do that.
Yeah, yeah.
Before they then say, maybe we should work on that.
Yes. It's not just I hate myself. The therapist isn't like just like, great.
Yeah.
Moving on.
But it's okay.
It's
like a very okay thing to experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I love that about therapy.
Just that you can go in there and say whatever.
You can say whatever, but I think when we say you can say whatever, people don't really realize what that means.
Yeah, you can really say, hopefully you're in a relationship with your therapist where you really can say like anything. Nonsense.
Anything.
Word salad if you'd like.
Anything. Yeah. Yeah. This is going to seem so off base, but I was actually thinking about this in bed this morning, and this is a little bit off topic, but I think this is really very important because a lot of people are struggling with the trans community right now, and it causes a lot of issues in our culture today. And I don't agree with that side. You know, I really am in support of the trans community. Mm-hmm. But what I do understand is that when I was young, I had a really great therapist. I actually remember a very specific event in time where I was actually doing a research project on a friend that had actually transitioned. And my friend was able to like really discuss with me what the experience was like. I was doing it in grad school, actually.
Cool.
And while I was doing this project that I was really proud of, and I was really proud of my friend, I was also able to go to therapy and say things like, I'm having dissonance. I'm confused because as a woman, I feel like being a woman was forced upon me in some ways, and that the experience of it is, you know, having to suffer having a period all the time, and the fact that I have a baby, and I always thought that's what made me a woman. But I got to talk about that in therapy, and I didn't have someone tell me I was wrong. She really let me process the entire thing, and what happened was it came out the other side, and now I don't have any fear around it. I feel like I really understand what it means, and also for myself, even more of what it means to be a woman beyond what I had been told it meant as a young person. And so this is just another plug for therapy, that I feel like because of that safe container to explore all of the fears and all of the things, I was able to come out and not, the best word I can say is fear it. Do you have another word? To be more in control of what I don't understand.
In acceptance of just like I don't know everything.
And also you don't have to know.
Yeah,
but
I like
she
that.
let me not know. And right now I feel like in our community, we're either on either side, we're not letting people really know and ask the questions. But in therapy you can. In therapy you really can explore and again, be in complete support of things that you at first wouldn't understand if you can't be honest about why it's difficult to understand at first.
Yeah. I get frustrated. This isn't with clients, just like people in general.
Yeah.
When people just very quickly try to have an opinion formed, be like, here's what I believe. It's like, spend some time not knowing. Like, it's okay to say like, I don't know what to say right now.
Yeah.
It can be uncomfortable to say like, I don't know, but, and I do the same thing. I sometimes try to have an answer to things.
Yeah.
But I like to remind myself, like, it's okay to not know something.
Yeah.
And it's okay to say, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then just let it be awkward if it gets awkward.
But I think we have to teach our clients that a lot of the time, because people in this world feel like they have to make opinions, and they have to make opinions that keep them safe within their community. That's what I feel. But in therapy, you can go in and you can explore all the different positions until you and not know, and explore not knowing until maybe you have a little bit more of a true, authentic understanding of why you have these feelings.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like we make decisions so quickly because we have to.
Yeah.
We feel we have to.
Mm-hmm. I think I don't really know about brains all that much, but I feel like our brains probably naturally try to problem solve immediately.
Yeah.
What? No,
I
just
don't know,
kidding.
but for some reason I started doing this, and I thought of one of my favorite movies ever.
Get Out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would that be really fun if we could actually do that on a session where I could totally hypnotize someone, even though I don't do hypnotherapy?
You know, I've been doing hypnotherapy.
Have you?
I've
With
been a
someone?
client. No,
You've been doing it on them?
I've been the client.
What's happening?
I've been seeing a hypnotherapist.
No.
Yeah.
We're going to get back to hypnotherapy. We're putting a pin in that.
Okay.
But you work with ADHD.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this is totally true. I think partly it's because I lived my life on stage, and at night is where I'm used to my juices really flowing, and not necessarily in the morning. But also, possibly it could be a little bit of maybe the chemistry of ADHD, and you tell me or not, where it feels like in the morning, it really takes me a while to have everything come online. I'm not online for a bit.
Yeah. I have heard and read that people with ADHD often benefit greatly from easing into a day and like taking the morning slowly and like gently easing into the day. Yeah. I haven't learned all that much about that, but I've heard that.
Okay.
And I experienced that big time. Like the best me happens when I have mornings like 2 hours where that includes coffee, meditating, journaling.
But you have to have like a routine.
It really helps.
And that's your best, and then you can be your best you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's not always attainable. Because
No.
who has 2 hours in the morning
Yeah.
to do that?
Pivot again. Let's go back to you in hypnotherapy. I'm really so excited to hear about this.
I started doing it to try to get a hold of my snacking at night.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
For years, after 10 p.m., it's me versus snacks. And the snacks often win.
Is it also you versus night?
I become alive at night. I want to have fun at night.
Yeah.
Like that's me time. Like, yay, the day's done.
Yeah.
Now I can like have fun, watch TV.
Yeah.
I like sugar too. I like sugar, which is people with ADHD often like the dopamine hit of sugar. So we have a dopamine deficiency.
Yeah.
So like getting that sugar, boom, dopamine. I need something like stimulation.
Yeah.
Often, not all the time, I'd say, but Jake, you can relate.
Yeah.
Has it gotten worse since you stopped drinking?
Yes. Yep.
I'm going to ask another question on top of that. I was thinking the same thing. Has it gotten worse since you aren't performing as often at night?
Yes. Definitely due to dopamine hits. And also, I don't have access to like snacks when I'm at a comedy club.
Right.
And if I'm talking to somebody, I don't think about like, I'm kind of hungry right now.
Yeah.
Let me see what I have in the fridge.
I struggle with not having a nightlife. And I'm not talking about nightlife of I'm not going clubbing. About having like nightly performance type activities.
Yeah.
It's a struggle because it was such a big part of my life. It feels like the nighttime comes, and my husband sort of is very ready and calm and ready to like get a really good night's sleep. And I feel the same way that you do, where I just need a ton of stimulation and I'm craving that.
I rebel. I'm like, no, I'm gonna stay up later.
Yeah.
It's like tomorrow will just kind of suck. That's fine.
Yeah.
I'm having fun eating this and watching this.
Yeah. What do you like to eat when you snack?
Well, lately I've been spending time at my girlfriend's place, and she has a 3-year-old, so there's like tasty treats all over the place because of the 3-year-old. So
Cap'n Crunch?
it's Trader Joe's version.
Okay.
Puffins.
Oh yeah,
Puffins.
those are pretty good.
Yeah, they are.
They are.
And just like cereal bars, like Nutri-Grain bars, but Trader Joe's version, which aren't even that good. But I'm like, yum.
Yeah.
This podcast is brought to you by Trader Joe's.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should do that. But except he said they weren't that good. But the puffins are good. My daughter grew up on puffins. Those things are bomb. Okay, so what is the hypnotherapist doing, or can you share some bit of the hypnotherapy? I actually have a best friend that's a hypnotherapist.
Oh, really?
I only did it one time, and I did think that she did a great job, and it was really interesting and cool. I kind of struggle, not visualizing, but I struggle surrendering.
Me too.
Yeah, so I'm so excited to hear about how this goes for you.
And I struggle with attention.
During it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, okay.
So, in hypnotherapy, you don't like go into a trance.
Right.
You're conscious. Your subconscious opens up a little bit so they can throw in some good habits or whatever you're trying to work on.
They could throw in some other stuff though too, though, right?
You probably could, yeah.
That's actually why Freud stopped doing it. Freud stopped doing hypnotherapy. Did you know that?
Really?
Yeah, because he originally really used a ton of hypnotherapy.
Yeah.
And then he felt like because you're in that suggestive state, that you could actually hurt someone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just saying. Okay.
Yeah. So it is a lot like meditation. And my hypnotherapist has told me like meditation is a state of hypnosis.
Oh,
technically.
Yeah. I love it.
So it's really honestly like a guided meditation, really.
Okay.
You do a body scan, like you picture a glowing light from the top of your head going down the length of your body. It's a body scan. I'm like, I said like, hey, bro, time out. I know what you're doing. No, I'm just kidding. And then
you're like, I can be a hypnotherapist now too. Is what you're saying?
I can do this.
Okay.
And here's one thing I liked. He's like, picture a long stairway. He goes into way more detail than I'm about to do.
Yeah.
And you take the steps down, 20, 17, 16, 15, 11.
There was a couple numbers missed there, but
Yeah,
okay.
intentionally.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Which I found annoying. Then I brought it up one day. I was like, why are you doing that?
Oh, I don't like that either.
I don't like it.
That took me right out of it.
And then get to the base of the floor. There's doors. You walk to one door. It's red, and it's like beautiful door. You open it. There's a control room. You see a knob that says snacks. You turn that knob down to 0 or almost 0.
Oh, I wanted us to open it.
Turn the knob down.
Okay.
Which like lowers the snack strength. And
Wow.
that's an example.
Okay.
And I like that one. And he'll record the audio.
Okay.
We do it on Zoom, and he'll send me the recordings each time. And of course, I don't listen to him.
You pay all this money and then you don't listen to it.
It's actually pro bono. He was in a
way.
hypnotherapist school as an intern, so I was doing it for free. Then recently I found out he graduated. He was just doing me pro bono, which I was like, oh shit, I didn't know that.
Is that because you're famous?
Probably.
Okay.
I can tell he's starstruck.
Did you? So Rydoon is also Ryan Muldoon.
Yeah.
And Ryan Muldoon is the therapist, but Rydoon is the comedian. And they're both you.
Real quick, on Vine came out.
Yeah.
I chose the name Rydoon. It was my AIM screen name. I chose Rydoon because I didn't want future employees to be able to find these weird videos.
Yes.
So, and then I got known as the Rydoon person.
Got it.
So I got kind of stuck with that stage name, Rydoon.
Did you love doing that for a while? I mean, you didn't just do stand-up, right? You did a lot of, you're like the original influencer.
Yeah. I contributed to the problem of social media.
Oh. Nice.
Yeah.
You are the problem.
I am the problem. But yeah, I started doing stand-up 3 months later.
So smart. Now you're a therapist to cure the problem. So you basically wow.
I created...
Look at that.
Supply and demand.
Exactly, yes.
Job security,
Too
baby.
smart.
Yep. Yeah, I started stand-up late 2012. Vine came out early 2013. And then I became known as an influencer more than a stand-up because it takes years and years to get good at stand-up.
Yeah. But I think it's really important for people to know that you're a really special guest because all of my comedians, I don't even know, I'm making this up as I go. All of the comedians coming on here are teaching us about mental health, but you happen to also be a therapist. So it's nice for them to know your background as a comedian, but then also that the information you have to share is really special.
One thing I've noticed about comedians and therapists is both comedians and therapists, most of them went through some traumatic shit previously that influenced them to become a comedian or therapist.
Yeah.
But most therapists have healed from the trauma or have done some work. A lot of comedians not healed.
No.
Well, I shouldn't
Are
say
they
a lot,
also
but
funnier too, comedians?
They're funnier. Yeah. But there's a lot of therapists that I went to school with that are funny and like dark sense of humor.
Yeah.
Which I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah, I do find a big similarity between them. Yeah, I do.
And have you noticed like some comedians are still just like very raw, like their trauma is still very present?
Comedians have to really not assimilate too much to a culture in order to be able to have a really fresh perspective on the culture.
Yeah.
Whereas a therapist doesn't have as much of a pressure to not assimilate. Comedians are being censored, but they get to come in and they are challenged to readdress the way we look at everything. And therapists are doing that in the same way. And both comedians and therapists are not avoiding the darkness.
Right.
Actually, I didn't ask you, did the hypnotherapy, or do you feel that it's working for you?
I do, but I feel like it could work better on others.
Why?
Some people are more able to be hypnotized.
That's right. I feel like I really struggled with surrendering into it and really visualizing what I needed to visualize and believing I was there.
So it has worked.
I just thought of something though. Do you think that's a skill that you can develop? Do you think that if you kept going to hypnotherapy, you could get better at
Probably.
that?
Yeah.
Right, the susceptibility.
Yeah. And I'll get distracted. He'll be talking to me like, envision going down the staircase, and I'll start thinking of something else.
It's kind of like meditation, right? You get better at meditation as you do it, and being good at meditation could help you be... Are you a good visualizer? I'm not the best visualizer. Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's really cool. How has visualization helped you, and how do you know you're a really good visualizer?
Well, part of my ADHD is I have the ability to not listen to what you're saying and just see and hear. Well, I can't actually. I'm not hallucinating, but in my mind's eye, I can vividly like picture a scenario.
No way.
Or like write a sketch. It really helps me like visualize sketches. Like, here's what I'll do in the next edit. I'll just be looking like a psycho, but I'm writing.
Wow.
Yeah, and I like to do inner child work.
Okay.
Pick a troubling moment from my childhood.
Yes.
Visualize it.
Yes.
And then the present me goes into the room and provides the comfort that little Ryan needed but didn't get. So I can like vividly like go there. It can be a moving experience.
That's an incredible... You should try EMDR then.
Yeah, right?
Because in EMDR, you do exactly that. You recharge yourself.
Yeah.
And then process it through the bilateral stimulation. But you are going into these events, you're really visualizing them.
Yeah.
And I can do it, just not as well as you are saying you can do it. Wow.
I recommend my clients do it. Some doesn't resonate because like some can't.
Yeah.
Like some people just like really can't visualize, it seems.
No, and some people are very concrete.
Yeah.
So it doesn't, you ask someone if they're stimulated right now from a level of 1 to 9, and you say, okay, remember this event that happened to you. Now, how distressing is that from 1 to 9? And they're like, I'm in this room. I'm fine right now. I mean, I know that happened to me, but it's not happening to me right now.
Right.
So if that's not the way that your body and brain registers things, then it's not going to work for you.
Totally.
But they're great if they do. So hypnosis you can visualize, but you say you get a little distracted. And anything else?
Lately, I've been focusing more on social media and like building kind of just like confidence and like releasing expectations of viewers. Because as like performers, and I'll say it, artists that we are, people in this room, it's better to not think of like the outcome when you're making something.
Yeah.
Like you're painting, it's better to not think like, what will people think about this?
Right.
When I present it.
Right.
It kind of like gets you out of the moment. So
when
I'm making a video, sometimes I'll feel like, sucks. Like no one's gonna watch this. Like it's just gonna get enough views. It's just gonna get hate comments. So I'd rather not have that on my mind when I'm making something.
Yeah.
So I've been working on that with hypnotherapy, and I think it helps with that.
I'm excited for you about that because that's something that a lot of my clients deal with.
Yeah.
A lot of them have followings on social media and they really struggle with the backlash, perceptions, all of the things that come with social mediaing. And it's nice to know that hypnotherapy can help with that.
Yeah.
Does being a comedian make you, in your opinion, a better therapist?
I think it helps me have a unique perspective. Most therapists aren't comedians.
Correct.
I think it makes me a better therapist for creative people, maybe.
That's
And
a good
like
answer.
performers who do live performance, just because I've done a bunch of it myself. So I can just use my own experience to inform the treatment of clients. But really, I think the things that made me a comedian are what helps me most with clients. I developed a desire to be funny from my upbringing. Because my family's funny, Irish Catholic, like humor was important to us. And I was always drawn to family members and relatives who were funny. And also I saw how humor could calm things down. So if when things were like tense in the house, my sister's boyfriend came over, he was really funny, everything would be okay. I'm like, oh shit, this is valuable. So stuff like that helps me with being a therapist. I think more so than me actually being a comedian.
Yeah, it sounds like it's actually taking from who you really are that made you good at being a comedian and now also good at being a therapist.
Yeah.
Like how you said before, you think that there's a similarity in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, as a stand-up, you got to read the room quickly.
Yeah.
That helps me be a therapist. I can like read the room.
Listening.
Right.
Right.
In stand-up, there is improv involved, like crowd work and stuff. I suppose that helps, working that muscle.
What about the out-of-the-box perspectives?
You do it too. You're funny. We can view things as like, oh, that's funny, even though I'm not enjoying this right now, but it's funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like an argument that goes in a funny direction, but in the moment, not funny.
Yeah.
But you can recognize the humor. So I can help clients get there.
I do feel like when I make a client laugh and we laugh together about something that they've been struggling with when they're ready for it, obviously, that is therapy gold.
Yeah. I assume that just our personalities, we're probably providing more levity than we think we are, just from our natural personalities. So I'm sure some therapists are like very boring.
Yeah. And I think some people are looking for that.
Yeah.
But if you're looking for a therapist that is going to join you in the narrative and help you find levity and use humor as a tool in healing, then yes, we're going to bring that automatically.
Yeah.
Do you think therapy, now that you've been in it and you've studied it, makes you a better comedian?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
So that's a definite yeah.
Yeah. I can look at things through a therapy lens and also a comedic lens.
Yeah.
So it helps me, find language for things. Also, I've been doing crowd work, diagnosing the audience with mental disorders.
Oh.
Not officially. I have that clinical language and experience. I tell the audience I'm a therapist. Hopefully they believe me.
Yeah.
So that allows me to, hopefully spark interest. Like, oh, he's a therapist? Oh, no other comedian tonight has been a therapist.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully it looks unstaged, but I'll say like, excuse me, sir, have you ever been happy? It's like, yes. You ever been sad? Yes. You have bipolar disorder. That usually gets a laugh. Then my closer of this bit is, does anyone want to participate? And usually someone's like, I'll do it. I was like, yeah, you want to be a part of the show? Yeah? Narcissist. And that'll get so far it's gotten a big laugh.
Wow, I love it.
Thanks.
That's so fun.
Yeah. And I've talked about being a therapist who's dating a therapist, because that's what I am doing.
Yeah.
Sometimes we'll talk to each other with like therapy language.
Yeah.
Which is like cringy.
Ew, what are you gonna say? I don't even like therapy language in general.
Yeah, I know, right? We'll use the word dysregulated.
You went from triggered to dysregulated?
Yeah.
Wow.
Dysregulated. And that's such a therapy word.
Wow. Does that turn you on? Like, is that hot? Can you guys be like, talk to me therapy and get...
Talk therapy to me? I don't think it's hot. No.
No, okay. That's good. Do you have any questions for me? What are you? I'm a Pisces.
So am I.
Oh, we're also Pisces. How weird.
Oh, you're bipolar.
Do you think? That's a good joke. Actually, you should steal that.
emotional, sensitive.
Because Pisces go like this too.
Yeah.
That's funny. Okay, you're sober.
Yes.
I'd love to talk about that a little bit. And
Sure.
I also want to, before we even start into your like personal story, I'd like to clear up a couple of things for people out there, because there are other resources out there for mental health other than therapy, even though I think therapy is the bee's knees.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's self-help, there's coaching, and there are also 12-step programs.
Yep. And also non-12-step programs.
Are there?
Well, there's AA,
12-step.
OG 12-step.
Yes.
Then there's Smart Recovery, which is more CBT focused,
Oh,
more
okay.
scientific, less spiritual.
Okay.
So if you have trouble with the God thing in spirituality, you might not like AA. I still think you should try it.
Yes.
But there's also Smart Recovery,
Okay.
which is there's no God.
Oh, great.
And it's about empowerment as opposed to powerlessness. AA is like, I'm powerless over alcohol. Smart Recovery is like, you have some power. Let's help you not drink anymore. There's no day counting in Smart Recovery.
Okay.
So in AA, it's like I'm 30 days sober, or like I'm 5 years sober. In Smart Recovery, there's no counting, which I like about that.
Great.
Because there's less shame if you do have they call it a slip, I think, a slip up.
Oh, great.
In AA, it's relapse. I mean, the technical term, I guess, is relapse, but in Smart Recovery,
Semantics do matter, though, don't
Yeah.
they? Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. I just agreed with myself. Did you notice that?
I agree.
This is this way. Oh, I agree with myself.
You're your own advocate.
I am.
And I like that.
That's really helpful. I didn't know that much about Smart Recovery before, so
Yeah.
that's something is really good to share with people, I think.
There's also Recovery Dharma. I don't know much about it.
Okay.
That is definitely meditation, Buddhism
Mindfulness
based.
focused.
Yeah. And I don't know much about that.
Okay. What about if you're not the person struggling with substance abuse and alcoholism yourself, and you come from a family or friends or someone else, a loved one
Yeah.
has greatly influenced your life?
Al-Anon
Okay.
and ACA, Adult Children of Alcoholics.
What's the difference between those two?
Well, I do Al-Anon.
Okay.
And I have gone to a few hybrid ACA and Al-Anon meetings. So I have way more experience in Al-Anon. But from what I've read and what I've been told about ACA is that ACA like really, really goes hardcore deep into like trauma. And it's a smaller community for sure. And I have a friend who does ACA. So he started ACA. Then I said, come to this Al-Anon meeting with me. He went to the Al-Anon meeting and he was like, that meeting's not for me. I want to do ACA to get to the point where that meeting will resonate with me. So like, he was like, everyone here is like doing well at the Al-Anon meeting. So he was like, this is not my crowd.
Oh.
So from anecdotal evidence and from what I've been told from people in Al-Anon, ACA is like hardcore, like I guess maybe more troubled people, more cute. Yeah.
Okay.
I shouldn't say more troubled.
It's so interesting. I was actually told the opposite. So this is definitely for something for people to start researching and looking into. I know way less than you. I'm not in a 12-step program. But I was told by someone in a 12-step program that ACA is like the graduate program.
Could be.
But I don't know.
Could be both things.
At the same time.
Yeah.
You're more effed up and it's a graduate program.
Yeah. Yeah, they say that about AA. They say like Al-Anon is you graduate from AA and you go to Al-Anon. You still do AA. But that's kind of what happened with me. It was like with AA, I stopped getting the juice. I was like, I'm not really getting
What you need.
what I used to get. I used to like have like
It looks like you
big
want
moments.
a drug feeling from it.
Yeah.
I'm not getting
Yeah.
the high from this, so
Yeah.
I need to go find another 12-step program.
Well, do you want to do the work more? And you feel like if you're not actively doing a lot of work, then it's not working?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that necessarily true?
I think so. There's a saying in AA, like it works if you work it. So if you just go to meetings and you just listen, you're not really going to get much out of it. You got to do the 12 steps, get a sponsor, get a commitment, which means like
Did you ever
you
sponsor
make
people?
the coffee. No.
No, okay.
So I'm not like the ideal.
That's okay.
I'm not like the perfect example of AA.
But you're
it worked.
sober and it helped
Sober.
you. Yeah.
And I still do it. I've never not gone to meetings,
Okay.
Never not had a sponsor. So I just think like I'll just keep doing that because it seems to be working.
But are you still doing AA and Al-Anon, or are you just doing Al-Anon now?
Lately I've been doing more Al-Anon, but I still do AA. But Al-Anon has been resonating more with me because it goes like deeper. AA, in my experience, has a lot to do with how you're doing now. And Al-Anon is more like what caused you to be the way you are now. And also, Al-Anon is for people who have alcoholics in their family or friends. And it could be other addictions too.
Okay.
And it's all about like, how do you cope with somebody you love being an addict? Because oftentimes, if a parent is an addict, you grow up trying to be small, like not walking on eggshells. You become a people pleaser.
And was that true for you?
Yeah. So I for me, it was helpful to be small
Yeah.
and quiet, but also helped for me to like be a performer. Like, smile.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's serving back then, but now today as an adult, it's like I still tend to be a people pleaser, which makes me seem like a great guy. Such a nice guy.
Yeah.
But people pleasing, you're doing it to comfort, to regulate your own self.
Yeah.
So I have thought about specific Al-Anon moments where trying to set boundaries. When I'm thinking like, I should do this, I should say I'm unavailable. Little things like, I can't go to this thing. In the past, I would try my best to go do that thing. Like, yeah, I can do it. I'll be there. And I'll be happy about it. But then I'll overextend myself. I'll like get physically tired, exhausted. I'm like, God damn it. I told them I'd go to this fucking thing. I'm going to go. And I'm going to perform, act like I'm happy to be there.
It does sound like actually comedy was part of your process of healing.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it more. And then you started 12-step. And then you became a therapist. And yes, these are, big parts of your life and two of them careers, but really they're just about your journey of healing.
Yep. First it was trauma as a child.
Yeah.
Then alcohol, because it helped. I wasn't like a crazy, Jake just has known me for years. I wasn't like a lose my entire life type of alcoholic, but I started drinking as a teenager and it like soothed
Yeah.
me, made everything okay. I was like, I'm funny, I can relax. I'm having fun at this party, as opposed to like,
Yeah.
so
As
trauma,
opposed to how you are now.
yeah, as opposed to me being super uptight and super awkward. Trauma, alcohol. Then through that, comedy. And then comedy, the alcohol was making me super depressed. Started doing therapy, going to therapy.
Okay.
And my therapist was like, you're an alcoholic. And I was like, what? I don't want to be. I don't want to be. But then I went to AA and I got sober. Then I realized like, shit, I don't need to be the next Jim Carrey anymore. It's like, uh-oh, what do I do with my life now? Now that I'm happier. So I was like, maybe I'll be a therapist. My therapist had been encouraging me to do it. I was like, maybe I'll do that. Pandemic happened. I was like, going to grad school. And here I am, therapist who does comedy as well.
I'm just so happy to have you here. And I'm so
Thanks.
happy to have you in my life in general because he is also my associate, which means that you're on your way to licensure.
Yep.
And for just the moment, I get to work with you on the regular, and he works underneath my license in California.
And you guide me, supervise me.
I
guide me.
supervise him. I guide him. I will never say the word dysregulate to you again in our supervision because now that feels pretty odd.
Because my girlfriend says it?
Yeah, because you guys say it in your intimate relationship. We'll just stay away from that
Yeah,
word. We'll
okay.
circle that word.
Great.
Even if a client is dysregulated, I don't ever want you to say that to
Just
me.
say like, fucked up.
Yeah.
Was your client feeling fucked up?
Yeah. This is actually how we do talk to each other, though.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think we've ever used a therapy term with each other, have we?
Maybe not.
We know what we're talking about, and it's clinical, but we never use clinical words.
Yeah.
Oh, and also, though, are you performing? Can we see you perform soon? Should we follow you on social media? Should we also go to therapy with you? What should we do?
Yeah, follow me on social media at Rydoon. I just started posting again after several years off.
Because of hypnotherapy.
It's helped me start posting again. Yes. I'm reintroducing myself as a comedian / therapist on social media. So I'm trying to make informative videos that are also humorous.
Okay.
So join me there. Be my client. I'm taking new clients. Hit me up.
If you're in California.
If you're in California, I can be your therapist. And I don't have a stand-up show booked as of now. So look out for that on social media. I'll be posting about that.
Okay, great. I would love to come see that.
Let's do it. Do another Blue Monday. And this time I won't be terrified. I was really nervous that last time.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought you were fantastic. That was you were just jumping back in though because you took a break.
I hadn't done it for 2 years. And then it was that show. I
had a good set.
We love Rydoon. We also love Ryan Muldoon. And honestly, if you guys have any questions, we're definitely going to have you back on the podcast if that's okay.
Yeah, definitely.
To talk more about therapy topics and about your life in general. I think you bring such an awesome and fresh perspective to what this podcast is about specifically. So
cool. I'm
we're
down.
happy to have
Let's
you.
do it.
Thank you for listening to us today. We know that you could have spent this time with a true crime podcast, but you care about mental health too, and that's balance. And we appreciate you. Go ahead and subscribe, please, and give us 5 stars. And if you didn't like it, like most of my family, just lie. Remember, this wasn't medical advice, but an irreverent conversation about mental health. New episodes drop every Tuesday on Spotify, Apple, and YouTube, and everywhere else that we could manage to upload it. And hey, if you liked today's comedian, look them up and follow them. They are brave and they're talented. And if you have friends, good for you. That's a good sign. Now please go tell them about us.